Alright, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so at the start I will say, if you're paying attention, I did a double, like a little menu there to select the second option. That is the hidden mansion, not the normal mansion. The hidden mansion is like the new game plus. You unlock it after beating the game once. You can tell you're in the hidden mansion by looking at the star in the bottom right corner. In the American version, you actually take double damage, but in all versions, the hidden mansion enables you to suck up ghosts twice as fast. It makes your vacuum twice as powerful, which is important for speedruns because we want to go fast. In the American version, you take double damage in addition to that, so it's actually harder. And in the PAL version, it shuffles everything around, so it's really weird. It's like a ROM hack. So first order of business is how to catch ghosts. You want to hit them with the flashlight, and then after you hit them with the flashlight, you reveal their heart. After you reveal their heart, you can hit them with the vacuum and then suck them up. In this game, you hold away from the ghost to suck it up. And on Hidden Mansion, that immediately does 10 damage to it. These ghosts have 10 health, so we immediately suck them up. Pretty much all ghosts behave in the same way like that, but not all of them have 10 HP. So in this next room, we'll see a couple with 20 HP, which means that we'll have to do something in addition to just holding away. This guy is 10, so we just flash and suck him up, hold away. This next guy's going to have 20, and instead of holding away entirely, we're going to hold away, reset to neutral, and then hold away again really quickly. What that does is it pulls 10 HP away, and then it pulls 10 HP away again really fast, so we do 20 damage really quickly instead of 10. I'm trying to get both of these at the same time here. The doubles are very important in this game, because this game is based off of cycles. And the faster you can end a cycle means faster the next one shows up. We suck up that guy first because of cycles, because the guy on the right is tied to one while the guy on the left is not. This one's really cool because we can push the green ghost, they don't have a hitbox, to get that double. I want to get an optional ghost here for money. We're collecting money all the time, because this is 100%. 100% is concerned with money. Other categories are not. But we're going to be collecting a whole bunch of money as we go through the mansion and suck up all the ghosts. That is our secondary objective. The other two objectives we have in 100% is to catch all the portrait ghosts and all the boos. Boos come in later, but we're about to see our first portrait ghost, whose name is Neville. And portrait ghosts work pretty much the same way as the orange and purple ghosts you were seeing earlier, except that they have 100 HP. All of them do. Except for the final boss of the game. And all the bosses in general are pretty weird, but Neville's pretty simple. Portrait ghosts decide to show you their heart at some point, just whenever they feel like it. You don't have to hit them with the flashlight, so Neville here is just going to yawn after a period of time, after which we immediately he immediately shows our heart, shows us his heart, and then we can just start sucking him up without the flashlight. We're pretty much never going to use the flashlight against portrait ghosts, because there's no need.
I think you missed a pearl.
It's a small one, I don't care. So okay. There is the counter in the bottom right tells me 3, 4, 1. So I got 3 smalls, 4 mediums, and 1 large one. There's 4 mediums and 4 smalls, and 1 large for every portrait ghost. The larges are very important because they are worth 1 million gold. The other 2 aren't worth nearly as much. Small ones are worth 50,000, and the medium ones are worth 100,000, so we get them if we can, but they're not critical. That's not the split. No. Undo. Wrong key. You get better pearls the longer you can hold the ghost on the line, so it's dependent on how much HP you do. If you do 90 HP in one pull, you get the big one. So if we fail to catch a portrait ghost in one pull, we're not going to get all of the pearls, which is very important for the money route because we assume we get all the pearls to be as fast as possible. This is our first boss ghost of the game. We're already almost at the end of the area. There's a boss ghost at the end of every area. This is Chauncey, and this is probably when I will say, explain the crap out of that trick, because I'm going to focus. And I can send you specific notes about this, so that you can read off a script if you want, or just write your own script based off of my notes.
Yeah, that would be helpful, because I haven't watched those videos yet, but I have them pulled up, or saved.
I don't think I did the trick in my example video. The trick, there was like if I forwarded you the exact explanation of the trick in the video, I can probably condense it down a little more. The gist of this is, normally Chauncey makes you do 2 cycles because he forcibly breaks you off. Unlike every other portrait ghost in the game, he will start breaking you off and then start a timer after which you'll break off after he gets to like 60 HP.
And then don't you like let go and grab him like on the frame after or something?
1 second. Darn it. That was late. I flung myself off. When Luigi flies backwards like that, it means I did it too late. He did kick me off, and I didn't do the thing fast enough. If I just stand, if Luigi's still standing when I do it and fail it, it's because I was too early. Or because I let go and didn't re-grab fast enough. One of those 2 things. But that one for sure tells me that I was too late, because I got knocked off. And this gets all weird after you fail the first cycle with more than 50 HP. So I'm just gonna be kind of struggling through it. I don't know how to catch that ball really quickly. Hopefully that doesn't happen. I plan on retrying that at least once during the marathon. This is a really good Area 1 except for missing that. Like, incredible Area 1.
You missed the... If you miss the Chauncey 1 cycle, then you're gonna just try it again.
Yep, I'm gonna do 2 attempts and then I'll keep going.
Okay.
Because I don't want to sit. I'd love to sit there and do it forever, but that boss fight takes a significant amount of time to get back to. I'm gonna make a save file that's right before Chauncey, so I can just load it up and continually like load file 2 for the rest of the game. So that trick works because once he hits like 70 HP, he starts like doing this shaking you off animation, and that just basically puts you on a timer. After however long it takes, it's like 4 seconds or something, he will forcibly knock you off. It doesn't matter if you were pulling carefully or pulling aggressively, he will just kick you off. And on Hidden Mansion, you can get really, really close to 1 cycling him, even with the timer. You can get it down to like 10 HP or 12 or something. It's really close. And it's just barely not enough to catch him in 1 cycle if you're frame perfect on the pulls. So the way around that is letting go on the exact frame that he would normally break you off. So normally we're holding the right trigger, and we want to let go on the frame that he would normally break us off, and then re-grab, or press the trigger back in to re-grab him the exact frame after that. So it's 2 frame perfect inputs, and if you're off on one of them, it will not work. So we use an audio cue because that timer starts in the same way every time. I listen for the audio cue to make it happen, and I'll write all that up. Okay, these guys, easy double, these are grabber ghosts, first introduction to them. They're fun because they can grab you and you kick them off in any direction you want, so they're really good for setting up doubles. So we just grab that guy and throw him in the corner. A lot of this game is chasing keys that open 1 door, and then that door gives you another key, and that door gives you another key, on and on and on. It's pretty linear. Despite how sprawling the mansion is, I really only have 1 place I can go right now. That changes a little bit later in the game. But this is the only way we can go to progress. Here we have another new type of ghost. These are the Shy Guy ghosts. Gonna try to set up doubles on them, get them close together, and then just kind of sweep the light over top of them. So hopefully we can shine them both at the same time. These can be a little tricky. Shy Guy ghosts are special because you have to pull the mask off first. Every ghost in this game kind of mixes things up just a little bit, every type. Other than changing health. They have 20 HP. The white grabber ghosts have 10 HP. We'll see some red ones later on that have 20. These guys are some more portrait ghosts. They gave me the good cycle. This is extremely lucky for me because this never goes right. When I get all the Shy Guys, oh hello, they're going up. Bad pull, but that is called early release. It is a completely random thing that they decide to do and open their show their heart faster than usual. If you don't get that, you have to wait like 20 seconds or 15 seconds or something. Maybe it's a little less than that. I need to time it. Otherwise, that's just completely lucky. We're going to do a little skip here after this guy spawns. In between the ghost cycles here, we're going to catch this guy and go in the corner, square ourselves against the wall, and then try to suck up this poster through the wall. Heard that, so we got it.
Yay!
And then we're just going to stand in a perfect spot here. To get this double, we're going to get this guy as he flies past us.
So, Spud, why do you look down with the Game Boy Horror?
Okay. We look down with the Game Boy Horror because every time a ghost spawns near Luigi, he gets scared. And every time Luigi gets scared, he does an animation, it locks us in place. If you get scared enough, you can actually get stun locked by it. You'll see the button on the wall over here. That was covered by a poster, so not anymore. We pulled that off early, called poster skip. The Game Boy Horror. When you pull it out, hold it, cancels the scare animation, so in certain cases where we want to act very quickly, like in the other room when I caught the grabber ghosts, and in here we don't have a lot of space between where the ghosts are and where we are. Plus we want to stand close to them anyway so we can flash the shine the flashlight on them as fast as possible. So we hold the Game Boy Horror out to cancel the scare animation. I've done it several times already. And that allows us to turn around really quickly or position ourselves in a way that allows us to like maneuver faster than we normally would if the ghost scared us. So EGAD's telling us all about booze right now. This is one of the advantages of Japanese is that the text is shorter, so every time he wants to do something like this, we have to mash through less text boxes. He's telling us about the ghosts have been, or the boos have been let go, and there's 50 of them in the mansion now, plus King Boo. And boos are special because they inhabit lit rooms, so he's going to take us through the tutorial and tell us to catch 5 boos until he gives us the key to go to the next area. Boos like to hide in furniture, so we have to check each one. But you can tell which one the boo is in by the flashing light above our money counter on the right. When it flashes red, I'm right in front of the boo. And when it flashes yellow, we are in the vicinity of a boo. And it flashes faster until it gets red as you get closer. So we're going to be going through checking specific pieces of furniture that they can be in. That guy moved because I heard the sound cue. I checked that and there was nothing in there. But then I heard the boo laugh in the background, which means I know he moved somewhere, and that's the only other place he could move to, since there's only 3 pieces of furniture in there. This is getting pretty lucky here. Nope. Boo RNG is minor and constant throughout the run, so learning how to read the rooms quickly is paramount to going fast in this game. Because it's not just about knowing where they are, you also have to read or like where they can possibly spawn. It's reading where they did spawn in a particular run. We do those 3 upstairs, and we don't go into the left wing of the upstairs up there, like where Neville and the other portrait ghosts were, because we're going to go back there later, so we're going to go over here so that we don't backtrack enough. And the thing is, after we get that key that EGAD's going to give us, after we catch our 5th boo, we need to go back down here anyway. So routing brings us back down here. And our 5th guy is going to be in this room. EGAD likes to talk after every single boo you catch. This is extremely good boo luck. Walk that guy close to the door. EGAD likes to talk after every boo. And he has a random amount of text that he can give you. Later on in the game, he'll start talking more and giving you more specific topics. It is, again, random if you get those. And we cross our fingers and hope he doesn't tell us about Van Gogh, who is the worst text we can get. It is much longer than all the other ones. So he hid this key in the to this room, and Toad hid this key in the toilet. So we're gonna get the key, say hello to Toad, and then immediately say goodbye to Toad. Bye, Toad. And warp out of here. Mirrors let you warp out. This is the first one we're gonna do. We're gonna do a lot of those. Do you want to talk about Angie?
Angie?
Angie's not here today.
No. I have my notes on that, but I just realized I thought they were on this computer. They're on my other computer. But I'll talk about what I remember about Angie.
Mm-hmm.
There are, how many? 5 places that I can spawn?
I think there's 5, whatever I told you, yeah. They're the random mice in the game.
Yeah, they're the random golden mice that show up, and they give you a lot of money, so they're helpful for this run, because then you have to worry less about collecting the random money.
Yep, and my captions, auto captions on the stream interpret Angie, or the word RNG, acronym RNG as Angie, so we named the golden mice Angie.
Yes.
Here's a cool strat. We're going to do a save quit here. Spawn the boo first. And this is a key item we want to pick up, so we're going to catch the boo, and then back ourselves into the item. We caught it, and then now we're holding the item at the same time. We're going to save while EGAD talks to us, and we'll save quit with a button combination at the same time. So we technically got that medallion, but we don't have to listen to EGAD talk to us. His text there was for the boo, and we don't have to listen to him talk to us about the fire medallion. So now we can see these elemental ghosts, and we need that coming up in this room here. Still no Angie. Angie shows up when you cross that hallway. Get 3 chances to see that mouse. Actually 4. So normally we'd have to light some candles to get out of that room we were just in with the boo. But we can come straight in here and save a little bit of time. One more chance to see Angie here.
Come on, Angie.
Oh, got scared. There's an example. There's Angie.
There's Angie!
In the best possible place, because if we catch Angie here... God, I'm getting scared everywhere. We can light these candles, wake this guy up, and then as we come back down the hallway, you get all the money on the way back and don't lose time stopping to get it.
We love Angie.
That's ideal. And of course this run gets really lucky. We're looking at the ceiling constantly because, as you saw, those things in the hallway spawn, and there's certain ones that are in the ceiling, and the ceiling guys don't spawn if you look up at them. Lots of ghosts like to spawn behind you. Pretty much all of them do. Which is why we look away from where the ghosts are going to be spawning. And then look back at them after they do. So if we just keep looking at the ceiling guys won't show up. My pink friend on the right did not want to show up today. I don't know why. But I'm going to leave this room early. Activate that mouse hole real quick. Actually, that doesn't matter. I'm going to do that in a second. Because I got to go back in that room before I go in the mouse hole. This is Shivers. He's the butler. He's pretty easy to catch. All the portrait ghosts have different characteristics. I'll talk about that more later. Because this room is really crazy. I'm going to have to get this. The boo isn't here. I actually don't want to find that guy. Nope, good. Let's get the key, and then we're going to go visit the room we just came out of, because it does not reset as long as we stay within one room of it. So, could have caught this guy earlier and gone in the room. Catch him now, spawn this chest, leave. Now the room is lit up. Still looking for the boo. This room, there we go. Gonna activate this mouse hole, which didn't work. Pull it out of it. And if we catch this boo while going through the mouse hole, we don't get any text. EGAD does not call us and tell us how our day is going. Going to get back out of here by hitting the mouse hole one more time. So we prep that.
That would have been a really clean room.
If the pink guy.
Not for the pink guy.
This is a really cool strat because we flame all these guys to take off their resistance. They are weak to fire. But we don't actually have to kill them with the fire, so we just hit 3 of them or 4 of them if we're... Don't double hit that guy, all at the same time. One clean pull. Looks like the boo is on the left somewhere, based on what the radar is telling me. There's a ton of money in this room. This is the first hidden room in the game. It's actually just called the hidden room. Ironically, you have to go through the mouse hole to get in here.
Is this another place Angie can show up?
No, there is no golden mouse in here. There is a golden mouse. Oops, I did not go back to the mouse hole fast enough. Got distracted. So, ideally we go back in the mouse hole. Catch that boo, go back in the mouse hole. And now we get the chest cutscene here, which we skipped earlier. It does not look at the chest. We leave fast enough. And we're just blitzing through here. We're trying to find boos in all the furniture. Pretty fast. A little bit of hiccup with the...
No boo sound.
Yeah.
Or no boo music.
The music breaks in this game a lot, all the time. It's
specifically the Japanese version.
Yeah, it's so much easier to break in the Japanese version. Like, if you do slightly the wrong thing too fast, the game will just freak out. So we got a key in the butler's room. 2 of those chests were green, but the butler's chest was blue, which gave us a key. This key goes here, so this is the only place we can go. We're going to listen to Melody, the piano ghost, play us a song. So, like, that's probably a good donation time. She can tell us 2 things.
Donation time.
She can give us 2 things. She can give us the Mario 1 water theme, which this is not. This is the other one. This is the Super Mario Bros. 3 title music, I think. And it's going to ask us what the game is from. this option is always the third option. I don't need to know Japanese. And then as soon as we catch all of these, she becomes vulnerable. Just like all portrait ghosts, she has a specific trigger for what makes her vulnerable. Easy one pull. To catch the portrait ghost, good boo spot, maybe. Nope. Again, we just repeatedly pull away, reset to neutral, and pull the stick away, like kind of like a tapping rhythmic motion. And every 10 health we reset to neutral and keep doing that. I haven't explained the boos yet. I probably need to explain that a little earlier in the marathon. Catching boos is not like that. Catching boos is entirely different. It does not involve tapping at all, at least not of the stick. You tap the right trigger rhythmically. You hold the left trigger, and boos have a specific way that they behave when they get injured that causes them to cackle essentially and lock themselves in place for a little bit. We abuse that by every 10 HP letting go and repressing the right trigger while holding the left one, which locks them in that cackle animation. Ooh, got stuck. And keeps them in the same place. We can do that for 150 HP, which comes up later as a problem for boos that have a lot of HP. So we're going to start Mr. Lugs in there as an optional ghost, but this is 100%. We want all the portrait ghosts, so we're going to start him on his cycle in there. Almost didn't get this gem. And while he's doing his thing in there, we're going to pick up all the stuff in here. Egad, this is the text we would have gotten for the fire medallion. This is the water medallion, so Egad's going to tell us all about it and how to use it. Mr. Lugs is still in there making noise, so I'm going to be listening for him and seeing what he's doing. At the same time, trying to find this boo. I can hear him vulnerable right now, but I'm too far away, so I'm going to try to catch the boo. Luigi is really interested in that water ghost. Okay, he's definitely not going to be vulnerable. Because Egad has to talk to me. Oop, I saved for no reason. So we're going to look for money in here while he's doing his thing. 3, 4, 5. And then 5 is the last one. We come in here. He's immediately vulnerable. Mr. Lugs pulls kind of hard. Again, every portrait ghost has their own little characteristics. Mr. Lugs does have a strong pull, but he's not too weird in how he moves around, so he's not that hard. Spawn that chest, but we don't want to go all the way across the room to get it yet. We're just going to go in here and continue forward. We'll get that chest later because we do have to come back here to water this plant in several other areas. So we water that plant once since we're in here already. I'm going to manipulate this guy to move to the right a little bit. He's a little too far over. So I'm going to kick him off that way. And then he wants the bone from the skeleton. That plant will spawn us a whole lot of money later, so we will go get that. Again in area 2 and 3, or sorry, area 3 and 4. This is area 2. Like a mouse hole, scan that doghouse, and we are back in here, and we're almost at the end of area 2. Getting a lot of gems along the way, especially red gems. Red gems are worth 1,000,000 gold, just like a large pearl, so they're worth a ton. We try to get a lot of valuable treasure. Fishing for a double there, didn't get it, because the skeleton on the right didn't move the right way. So we're gonna have to get all 3 of these guys separately. I got boned. We prioritize gems that are very high value, so red gems, diamonds, golden diamonds, and large pearls are the most valuable things in the game. We get a lot of red gems. I think there's 6 that we get, or I get. And there's only 5 diamonds in the game. There's only 2 golden diamonds in the game. One of the golden diamonds is in that plant, which is why we water it. And even though it wastes a ton of time to come back in here and water it every time, it is totally worth it because there's no faster way to get as much money that the golden diamond gives us. It's 20 million gold. We'd be searching for a long time if we wanted to get 20 million gold. This is the boss of Area 2. This is Bogmire. He's probably the most straightforward of the boss ghosts. He's basically like just a normal ghost that pulls really hard. The only gimmick is that he spawned on the left this time because he's weird and I was holding a button. He has 100 health and he likes to pull really hard, so we're going to be a little careful and see if we can get him in one cycle. Easy peasy. And that's the end of Area 2. And again, Egad talks to us, takes us back out of the mansion, which means great time for donations all over again. What have I missed so far?
You explained booze. I don't know, I don't think you're missing anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, missing the booze earlier, I missed talking about Mr. Lugs, but yeah, not gonna get everything. It was actually a really good run.
Yeah.
The Area 1 was really impressive. Like, I came out green on the first split, which is really nice, and I'm clawing my way back from the Chauncey thing pretty nicely. No golds, though. And then this will slow down as the game goes on because there's way more walking in Area 3 and 4. Area 3 is the weird one, though. Area 3 is when we start getting a lot of branching paths, and that kind of goes away in Area 4, but Area 3 is bottlenecked, unlike all the other areas where you kind of need to fight one ghost to fight one ghost to fight one ghost. Area 3 is bottlenecked by collecting all of Mario's lost items. We got one of those earlier in the washing machine where we found his hat. We're going to find the other 4 of those items. He has a shoe, he has a letter, he has a star, and he has a glove. We're going to come back to water that plant later because we need the ice in the fridge later. We haven't gotten the ice medallion yet, but there is reason to not do it now. So throughout this area, there's going to be a lot of doors that are actually open to us after we go through here. And we can go to a lot of rooms, but we can't finish a lot of rooms. So we're going to be on rails here for a second until we get the ice medallion, after which we're going to start hunting down Mario's items. There is one out here. I want to go down this well first to trigger a necessary cutscene. And we learned out what actually happens to Mario. Mario is under the well, stolen away by King Boo. Probably another good time for donations because this is just a cutscene. Like one donation here and there. Usually they're pretty quick. But we have to watch this because they got a key. The guy in... The only ceiling ghost that actually that drops us something important. Usually they just drop hearts. This guy drops a heart and a key. So we have to get him. And then now we can get out of the courtyard, but before we leave, we want to make sure we get Mario's letter in the mailbox. We're not going to be talking to any Toads in this game, because talking to Toad is slow, and we have other ways to save if we need to. Toad is our main way of saving, and there is one in this shack right here, but we don't talk to him.
Poor Keegan-Michael Todd.
Yeah. Poor Todd. This guy has a red gem, so we want him. Gonna leave that there, punch this guy real quick, then get the gem because it takes a minute for the gem to become interactable. Listen for him to sigh there, catch his breath, and then we punch him again when he's down. This key is actually optional, but very important because it unlocks a shortcut. A lot of people don't get that if you play casually. Let's hit this guy a third time. This is Biff. This is another optional portrait ghost. We actually don't need him unless we want money or we're playing 100%. So turns out we're doing both of those things. So sucks to be him. Doesn't look like there's a Boo over here. Wanted to check to be sure. Sometimes the radar lies to us, and I heard a Boo move there, so I know there's one over here now, because there's only two other places in this room where it can be. Good spot. Boos can occasionally double cackle. That guy did it a little bit, which means that we have less opportunities to do this pumping action. It actually reduces the amount of pumps we can do because they waste a couple of them. They can only cackle 15 times. Cool strat. We shoot this water ball through the floor to hit a burning door before we're supposed to, and then it is not on fire anymore by the time we get up here. Boos can cackle 15 times. Gonna catch this guy off the ceiling. If a Boo cackles 15 times, it tries to leave the room immediately. So if you make them cackle for some other reason, like they take damage at the edge of your vacuum extent, they tend to cackle way more, so you want to keep them front and center right in front of Luigi. And repeat the pumping motion. Ideally, you can get about 150 HP off of a Boo. Now, there are ways to get more. It's very tricky, though. Usually, you're only guaranteed 150 HP, so Boos with more than 150 HP are really hard to catch in one cycle, if not impossible. That guy had 100 HP, so we actually have a little bit of leeway over here. There's a lot of furniture in this room. So a couple double cackles on these early boos really doesn't matter, especially for the ones that have 50 HP. They're not that hard. They are fast, though, and if you don't do the pumping reliably, they can slip away from you, even though you're, like, not at the threshold where they immediately leave yet. The next couple boos are actually really notorious for that. Get that other red gem. We're stocking up on red gems. Can't remember if that's our last one, but we are collecting them all. We have ice now. Cool strat where we just do a little spin in the hallway and nothing spawns to scare us. I love that strat. We have the ice because Petunia's in here, and Petunia likes taking hot showers. We're going to ice her down, and she shows her heart. And we immediately can grab her. Her pearls like to stick in the tub, so we're going to spawn this key first, and then see if we can get a bunch of them out of there. Bit finicky. I'm going to try again. It's not paramount that we get them all. For marathon safety, I think I want most of them. This is Nana. She likes to knit, so we're going to hit her with her own yarn balls. Beat her up. She actually pulls surprisingly hard. You wouldn't think, like, Grandma would put up much of a fight, but she is surprisingly difficult to catch. This boo can be really nasty, too, because this room is really long. That key early, and it looks like it was nasty today because it's on the far right side.
At least Nana was pretty quick.
Yeah, Nana was really good. The yarn balls sometimes, picking them up can be a pain. This is another one of those boos that causes problems because this one's so fast. Ice is technically really good against boos because it holds them in position normally. You might have noticed that if you played this game casually, but because we know how to do the pumping motion and boo pump, they stay put anyway, so ice actually doesn't convey any benefit. Get that fire. Nothing spawned in the hallway to scare me. Good movement. Ideally, we light all these candles. And... nope, not quite. Come on, Luigi. There we go. Ideally, we light those candles in a circle and Luigi's facing a specific direction to make two things spawn at the same time in this room. He didn't cooperate this time, so we're gonna have to get this guy first and then the Shy Guy second. That's one of the harder doubles in the game to set up. And then we spin here to make things... so things spawn when you turn your back to them. And spinning around technically means that you're turning your back to all parts of the room all the time. So when we have a whole bunch of things in the room that we want to spawn, these guys did not cooperate here. I didn't get it. So in rooms where there's things kind of all around us, we want to spin to make them show up at the same time so that the cycle is the same way every time. Okay, this boo can be bad too. Bit of a pain to find, but got him first try there. Boos also tend to double cackle and leave early if they get caught in furniture. This guy can get caught in any of the candlesticks or the chandelier and start trying to leave. Gotta be careful with him too. A little bit of a cutscene, maybe a time for a donation. This is the moon shot. Luigi's gonna shoot the moon. It's not the real moon. It's a ghost moon. And like I mentioned, this is on the way to one of Mario's items. At the end of this, we will get his star. I don't know why he just has a star in his pocket, but he dropped it and he wants it back. There's a visual cue for that. I had a bit of a problem lining it up so that we aim at the moon directly without having to just guess, because that can be...
And I thought you were just really good at eyeballing it.
Yeah, that can be very hard in casual play. There's actually music here in the American version, but I've never heard it on Japanese, so again, I can't tell if it's easy to break the music in this game, or if it's just half of it's not there. That's honestly how finicky it is. Okay, we got more movement here. Going to be going to the billiards room next. And this is where that key we got from Biff's room comes in handy because it unlocks this door here. Lots of people never see that in a casual playthrough and have to go through the courtyard every time they want to come back through here, which really hurts. So Slim does take time to get set up here. He needs to hit the billiard balls, so we're going to spend this to get some money while we're waiting on him. Hopefully in time. Not today. Kind of. Ideally we can hit him with all these in the same cycle. Finally got that to work out. Slim is a very peculiar ghost. He actually has the narrowest angle that is valid to pull against him of any ghost. So when I say you catch ghosts by holding away from them, the actual angle that is like allowed, and say the game says that's away, varies from ghost to ghost, and Slim is the most precise. You have to be the most precise when catching him. So you pretty much have to pull exactly away from him, whichever way he's going, which makes him quite tricky. He is an optional portrait ghost, so he spawns a green chest like all other optional portrait ghosts do, which drops a diamond. There's 5 of those in the game. Here is the... we're actually interested in for progress, because Mario's glove is in here. These are more grabber ghosts. Their gimmick, like the ones in the mirror room, is that they only show up when the light is on them, so you kind of have to pay attention to catch them, but we know exactly where they're going to spawn, so we set up doubles effortlessly. And here we actually have a triple we're going to drag together. Again, grabber ghosts are really fun because you get to throw them off in whatever direction you want. And that triple looks beautiful.
Nice.
2 last locations. Nope. There's actually a little bit of text canceling you can do there so that Egad won't tell you after the boo. After you catch the boo, he won't talk to you. You have to save quit out of this room, but it saves almost no time. It's very hard to do too, because the glove spawns so close to the center of the room, which is exactly where the boo wants to go to. And poor Toad's going to be crying the rest of the run too. We sadly do not save him unless we can make that a bit like a donation incentive to talk to Toad. That might actually be good, because we pass by so many times. He's really sad. I think that would be a good... I'm gonna actually submit that as an incentive. I think that would be cute. Because I was thinking about doing this blindfolded, or doing the final boss blindfolded, but my god, is it really, really hard even if I know what I'm doing? There's even less sound cues in Japanese too, so it's worse. Maybe one day. Best sound in the game. These are the brothers, Henry and Orville. And they make the best sound in the game. They hide in these boxes, and if we have fire coming here, which I do still have some left over, you can spray the fire on the boxes to make them shake and nothing else. They actually shake when you hit them with fire, but no other furniture does that, so you can just listen to see if they shake. Otherwise, you have to use the vacuum to find out which ones they're hiding in. And that shakes everything, so it's harder to tell just by audio alone. Okay. Orville, the red one in the plane, drops the pearls here, so we want to catch Henry first. That way he doesn't interfere while we're catching this one. And we can get all the pearls easily. Again, if we do not pull 90 HP off of the ghost in one pull... Ah! Best sound in the game. Much louder. 10 months, that's almost a year.
Yeah,
God
crazy.
Dang.
I was trying to time it, but my computer said no, and it blocked me from hitting enter, so I had to resize the window, but it's fine, I'll do it next time.
Yeah, I'm always scared when I talk about that, like somebody's gonna hit me with one of those. Okay. So they had, their key actually comes from Nana, so we go up to where Nana is, in that floor, second floor, for multiple reasons. One of them is because we want the key in here, the key to get this room, and then as we're back here, we want to catch all these boos, because we're coming back here anyway, we save these boos. Here's a really cool strat that I hope I can pull off. I did not shake that. Oh, I did shake it, okay. I'm going to try to do a tech skip here with this cloth. This guy moved, and he's back over here. When you pull a cloth into the vacuum cleaner right after something else, it cancels every kind of text that was going to happen anyway. Didn't get it. I messed up. And ideally we skip this EGAD text. He didn't give us bad stuff this time. There's various ways to set that one up, but text skips like that up, but this is the easiest. And then we are going to have tons of time for donations, because this is Clairvoyant and she likes to talk. So we're going to give her all of Mario's items that we've been picking up, and she's going to tell us all about them, and break our fingers and give us carpal tunnel. This run is actually pretty darn good.
Yeah.
I should be
another
green.
PB incoming.
Hopefully. I've been on the verge several times. If the third floor would just cooperate. It never cooperates. I've killed it in the basement several times, but it's never enough to make up for the disaster that happens in the third floor every time. Okay, so yeah, second floor, we go up to the second floor after Biff for the ice, but we also do it because Petunia unlocks the billiards room and Nana unlocks the brothers room. We need both of those keys before we can go back the other places.
Jumbo, is that Bulassos?
Yeah. I renamed that split because I thought that was a good pun. Clairvoyant is the weirdest ghost to catch because she actively moves towards you, so I'm actually just rotating the C-stick while holding away right here. It's really simple. Because she actively moves towards you, she does not pull at all. She wants to be caught, is what she tells Luigi, essentially. So, it actually makes things really... It ironically makes her really hard to catch because it's hard to pull away from her. So you kind of trick her AI by pulling away constantly and rotating the C-stick to force her kind of away from Luigi, and it constantly drains health. So we're coming back in here now because we have the ice medallion and we actually need ice for later. Which is another reason why we don't get the treasure chest in here, because we're going to come back through here anyway. And we don't look for the boo either, because we're going to walk across this room in its entirety. She knows how the game ends, she's seen it. So we're going to open this fridge on the way by, hopefully. There we go. And because rooms don't reset unless you're more than 2 rooms, or 2 rooms or more away, that refrigerator is going to stay open. So we grab water real quick to water the plant like we need to. This is area 3, so that's the second time. And then this is still open, so we can get the ice ghost and leave. And now we're pretty much past the bottleneck of this area, and we're back on linear. This goes to the next room, situation in this area. So we just got a key from Clairvoyant that only she can give us. And it unlocks the first part of the 3rd floor, which we could technically go up to, but not get into this door. So we could have glimpsed the 3rd floor. Got another chance for a random mouse here too that we will not be picking up because this one spawns really far away. Nope. 25% chance for every Angie, I believe. We'll be coming back to the 3rd floor a lot in the next area. And these guys are weak to ice, which is why we need ice. We can actually remove their weakness by spraying the ice before they show up. and then that doesn't stun them like that first guy got stunned. Heck. Well. Alright, just give me somebody. So, if we, like, pre-shoot the ice, we can take away the resistances and catch them faster. Ideally, you can get a double by pushing the green guy into the ice dude. But it didn't work out this time. That's also a really tricky double. The chair. Oh. Okay, so we're going to be coming up on the boss of Area 3 at the end of this, which is Boolossus. Boolossus is a giant boo made up of 15 other boos. And for purposes of the game, they actually count as 15 boos. So you see we have 24 out of 50 boos right here. We needed 20 to get through this door. There is a invisible trigger there that tells you to screw off if you don't have 20 boos, and they tell you to come back. But if we catch Boolossus, we actually get 15 boos on the counter. There's not that many boos left in the game. So we're going to have 39 after this boss fight. And like most boss ghosts, it is a really weird fight. This does not have any resemblance at all to any other part of the game, and Boolossus behaves totally uniquely. No music this time.
Oh, no.
Again, we broke the music. So Boolossus needs to first pop into the 15 constituent boos by hitting this unicorn statue, and then we get to freeze the boos individually and suck them up one by one. They have no health, but they are hard to hit, so we're going to shoot them all with an ice ball here. See if we can get them all in one cycle, but this is not good. I think there's 4. Oh, there's 5. Goodness, yeah, this is definitely a 2 cycle. So we're gonna have to make him pop again. Ideally, you can get a 1 cycle there. But there is a trick to making them attack you, which speeds things up. Turn their back, like boos of old. You turn your back to them, and they charge, and you can ice them on the way by. Ah, sprayed too early. Come on, buddy. There we go. Just a little bit of sidestep. And that split had big potential, but...
Yeah, but, I mean, you didn't lose time at least.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's kind of like free time save on Japanese for this split, because Clairvoyant talks so much. It's like 10 seconds or something you get to save. Boolossus was really mean, though. Whether they move all in a unit and whether they spread out a whole bunch is kind of random. They all behave independently. We try our best to get them clumped, but depending on where the ice ghost spawns and how Luigi uses his vacuum, whether he like sprays ice at him on the way by or holds the vacuum out for too long, like they'll spread out and condense a little too much. And when they get too close to the statue on the left side of the arena, they will spread out anyway, so you have to shoot the ice ball earlier rather than later. It's a very tricky and RNG favored boss fight. And again, end of area, donations, yada yada yada. Probably be a ton, first run, and all that. And then area 4 is full of long hallways and walking. Safety save, because it's a marathon. Every time we go back in the mansion, we select the hidden mansion option. And then we have no reasonable reason to go back in and get ice later on. Yeah, we have no real reason to go back and get ice later on like we did in this area, or that past area, so we're just going to come in here and water the plant now. We don't really need ice later, and we don't drive past here wanting ice later, so it's really easy to get. And here's our first golden diamond. Golden diamonds are again worth 20 million money. They are kind of like the backbone of the money route. Gotta get them both. That one is in the plant, the other one is in the 50th boo we catch. Which we're kind of going to do anyway because we need the 50 boos, but this route, even if you didn't need all 50 boos in the first place, this route would still catch them all to get the golden diamond because it's just worth that much money. And hunting down alternatives to that money would not be worth it. So yeah, long walk and then we get to do the blackout. I think I'm gonna do, like, make a little cheat sheet, maybe on paper, and put it next to me about how much time, how many donations can be read. Like, you got an hour, you got like a minute and a half to just read them off. We switched to sidestep here because we want to avoid getting scared as much as possible in the blackout. And unlike...
there's a lot of ghosts. Yeah,
there's a lot of ghosts. And like I said earlier, where when Luigi gets scared, he does an animation that stops him. There's actually so many ghosts in the blackout that you can and will get stun locked in certain rooms. Like, I think certain rooms have up to 6 orange ghosts or something silly like that. It's crazy. So we switched to sidestep so it's easier to keep our back to the wall. And unlike every other time where we're trying to avoid ghost spawning or trying to behave, like, move in specific ways, we don't actually want to clear all the rooms we're going to be maneuvering through because the lights are off because the power is off. We need to hit the breaker switch in the basement, but in order to do that we have to go get the key to that first. So until we do that, all the ghosts in the room will continue to spawn over and over and over, no matter how many we catch.
Toad's gone.
Toad is gone too. It's a really scary run when Toad is gone. Scared the crap out of me as a kid. So the only hint EGAD gives us is that the guy who stole the key likes mirrors, and for some reason he's in here. And hey, he was pretty nice today. He has a random amount of time when he can show his heart. He was really rude last Friday. Like, he was like 20 seconds late on Friday. It was bad. And again, the lights are still off because the blackout is still going, but now we have the key to the breaker room. You can actually get to the breaker room. Oops, hello. You can get to the breaker room early. Right at the start of the game, pretty much, in Area 2. But you can't do anything in there. There's no way to interact with anything in that room. And we already got the golden mouse, so Angie's not going to show up again.
Does she have a chance to show up there?
No, not if you already catch it. Yes, you do. Well, she does unless you haven't caught her yet. Oops, I missed that split. I split when Luigi puts the vacuum on his back. So this is a hard strat, but it is possible to catch this guy in one cycle. Let's see if I can work this out here. It's not looking good. Nope. It's actually really high health for that guy. Ideally you can, like, drag that boo back across the room. Ugh, I want to spawn this fake here because he might come back in here, and I want to know. And I don't trust myself to go fast enough here to catch him before he leaves. We can get a double here. Nice one. That one's not simple. Those ghosts are actually really far apart because of, like, Z-axis stuff. They look close together, but they're not really. So it's really easy to miss that double. Lots of hearts in here, but I think the guy's in here. Luigi likes to lock onto everything that isn't the ghost. So hearts, elemental ghosts. He's double cackling, gotta be careful. I think I'm good now. Okay, barely. He was about to leave for sure. And if there's enough stuff just kind of floating around, Luigi will look at that instead and screw you up. Make sure he didn't come back in here. He did not. He can go in here, or he can go left from the hallway that's to the left of us that we haven't seen yet. And into a room we haven't seen yet, so we're gonna catch him later. And now we have a whole long walk back upstairs to where we were before the blackout happened. all kinds of donations. What's your favorite part of the run?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
That's a good question. I feel like I really like the basement, just because it's like towards the end, and it can either go really right or really wrong.
Yeah, basement.
So it's like
is growing on me. Third floor, I still hate third floor though. There's no redeeming qualities of third floor. There's only heartbreak.
What's your favorite part of the run?
I like specific strats in like certain rooms. Like the triples and the triple in the projector room is really fun. I really like the armory room triple. That one's fun to do.
Oh wait, actually my favorite part of the run is when the orange ghosts in the room outside of what's her name, Sue P's room, when they peek the audio.
Oh yeah, that's a hoot too. Okay, so we water that first guy to stun lock him in place so that we can get that double.
What is the lore that you created?
Oh, there was like a whole thing about Van Gogh being like a wealthy artist and then betrayed, and then he makes a bad deal with the with basically the devil that is King Boo.
Dang,
for power.
I missed this.
Yeah, it was wild.
I look at your chat history.
So these are the Clockwork Soldiers. They are all individual 100 HP ghosts, but only the blue guy drops pearls. So we're gonna try to get.
Oh, yeah, that's a lot of lore.
Forget you can see chat history too. That's cool. Okay. No hiccups here. You can set up a double with those guys. Nope. But it was hard. It's hard to set up the double reliably. Okay, we need fire here, so we're gonna spawn that. And then there's 6 Shy Guys here, all in relatively close proximity. Luigi, get the fire ghost. But it's way faster to just torch them all than try to line up a 6-piece. It's totally possible. Just not a viable strategy. And these guys are weak to fire, which is why we want it. Hit the right guy on the right first because he needs to move closer, so hitting him first means that he'll move first. And they'll clump so we can get the double. And now we're about to enter into the 3rd floor gauntlet. Nice cancel there. So there's 4 boos up here. 2 of them have 300 HP. Which, because we only get guaranteed 150 HP from each boo before they're guaranteed to go away, we have to be very spot on with our boo pumping here to make sure that we get enough health. That was a very good pull. Maybe 2-cycle that guy. Good. Okay, so there's the other guy, and here is the other 300 HP boos. We do not catch these in categories that aren't concerned with catching all the boos, because they are so hard to catch. This guy's on the left side. In the table. Table is the worst spot. This is Boomerang. This is the bane of everyone's existence, because he is the fastest boo in the game. He better not go up. Thank you. Okay, that was a really good Boomerang, except he doesn't want to go... Whatever, dude. Just get back in that room. Okay, we have plenty of fire, too, because I was conserving it. Oh, careful now. Just torch that guy, and we're going to need the fire for the other strat in this room, which is the 3-cycle, or the triple. So we're going to clean up the stragglers here. And then set up for 3 at once. This guy...
You really do get so much health in this game.
Oh yeah. Japanese gives you twice as much health from heart drops. It is so much easier. And great triple.
Nice.
Each of these hearts is worth 20 HP in the Japanese run, and the English run it is, or the American version I should say, is those hearts worth 10, and you take double damage, so it's much harder to stay at super full health. Good boost spawn. This room is really laggy, if you didn't notice, and the lag interferes with the timing on the boo pumping. And if lightning strikes during all of this, it's even worse, so you have to be really on the ball when you're trying to do these pumps, because he only has 150 HP, so if you miss one, you're in a tight spot trying to catch that guy. And this room is really, really, really bad to look for boos, because it's hard to get from one side to the other. Get Jarvis here to spawn and talk to us by standing in a certain spot. And then we're gonna have to ice him 7 times.
That's probably the last red gem.
That should be the 6th one. I think there's more in the game, I haven't counted. There's probably a lot more in the game. They're just probably very out of the way. There's a lot of unique things that spawn in the Blackout only, and when you play the category that gets literally all the money in this game, you do a whole lot of stuff in the Blackout looking for money. I didn't count. That should be 7.
A single bill.
I think it was 3.
Oh.
Usually they spawn in groups of 5 though, so it might have been 5. Jarvis is really weird, and okay. He just likes Jarvis. That's just what he's about. Okay, I really need to get this. We want this guy to go down, because he has 200 HP, which means that we are definitely not going to be able to 2-cycle him. So, anything below 150 is fine, I just want him to go down. So I'm going to stand on the right side of him and try to get him over there, but no, he didn't want to behave, so... This is where 3rd floor can go really bad. We've been pretty darn lucky up to this point on where the boos went and how they behaved, so we're going to try to make this guy go right. Nice. By spraying the ice to his left and looking at him from the left. I think there's a guy in here. This might be a fake too, because he did come back in here. Nope. All praise the ice. The ice kept him in place there.
Nice.
And that is why EGAD tells you that ice is good. Okay, so this guy's probably hidden already, because that did take a while. Boos do hide after a period of time. Nice, first try. He has way less than 150 HP, so we're actually doing great here. Almost perfect 3rd floor.
Really not too bad.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, the gold split can definitely beat this split. If I have a perfect 3rd floor, because I was worried that I'd have to reset it entirely, but this is really darn good. Okay, and this is the last random mouse that can spawn. Nope.
Oh, it's in this room that
yeah, it's in this room.
I remembered it was one room with chest, just not which one.
Okay, let's see if we can get... There's the double. Got hit for it, though. There's actually a lot of... This room is all sparkly, like the hidden room. This is the sealed room. There's actually a lot of money in here, but this room is huge, and it's split between a million different chests, so if you wanted to get money in this room, it would take forever to do. So we actually don't farm this room for any money at all. There's much better places to look for it throughout the game. My money count is actually really, really bad right now. My bill count is terrible, but I do have all the large pearls, so we might not have to get any bonus money. Ideally, I'd want to see 400 bills or more. We have a good coin count. Coins you lose when you get hit, so the less you get hit, the higher that will be. And my gold bar count is kind of sad, too.
Does each, like... Oh, sorry.
You can go.
Does each gold mouse give you, like, a different amount of money?
Mm-hmm.
Like, are there better ones to get?
Yes, there are. I think generally the later ones are worth more, but they also drop it in different ways. So like the one in the sealed room doesn't give you any gems, it gives you all bills, which is really good because gems pause the game and bills don't. So that guy's really nice. And the early one that you pass several times spawns 2 gold bars and not that many gems. Or sorry, not that many bills. I think it might be like 5 bills. And 2 gold bars and a whole lot of coins, so it's the least valuable one. But it is the most common one. Alright, this guy has 300 HP, but he moves so slow that we can actually try to one-cycle him if I don't get hit there. Please don't go right. Come on, buddy. Thank you. He might not give me 2 chances, though, so we're gonna try to make him walk back and forth across the room. Oh, frick.
Nope.
Nah. I thought he was turning. This is not good.
This boo is not cooperating.
Okay. He's giving me like, leniency here. Okay, we should be good now. Just go left, my dude. Okay.
And a free gold bar.
So ideally you can catch that guy one cycle.
How many bills in a gold bar?
But gold bars are worth 100,000, I think. So bills are worth 20,000, so I think it's 5.
Okay.
Okay. I noticed he was double cackling in the box, so I was trying to be careful there and I got him on the walk. Alright, we're gonna try to set up for another save quit here because this is the last boo down here and we do not want to go back through the cellar because of all those dust piles. So after we get through this part, that last boo is going to be our key to save quit. This guy is Weston. He is probably the hardest portrait ghost in the game to catch that isn't a boss. He's really slippery. Okay. Getting his pearl can sometimes be a stressful situation. We got it no problem though. The fact that you're on ice makes that really, really hard. Pick up the key first.
And this is why basement is my favorite.
Yeah. Okay, pick up the key first. That's a small pearl, so I don't care about it. Over there is a boo way up there. Okay. Don't mess up here. We can save quit off of this guy. Luigi's really interested in that pearl though. Don't get it. Saw him look at it. Okay, perfect. And save quit. We do not need anything else down there. When you save quit... skip that split. When you save quit, every active boo that is not caught gets put back where they normally go. Like where they start, and they get completely healed. So if we don't get all the boos in that area, say one goes to the right out of the pipe room, then we really don't want to save quit because that means they'll heal to full health and we'll have to go find them in the original room again, instead of say being like 120 health and we can go catch them in one cycle on the way out. Not quite as bad of a situation as third floor, but basement can also spiral out of control. Plug your ears if you are sensitive to sound. Alright, so they're loud, but we can toast them all. Get water real quick and then see if we can get this double here. Both of these guys are weak to water, so we have to hit them with water first, but then they can clump. And now we are in for the last optional ghost of the run. This is Sue P. She likes to sleep and wet the bed, so we're going to make her wake up and wet the bed. Both of the things that she doesn't like to do.
Tormenting this poor ghost child.
Mm-hmm. She's implied to be very powerful, I think, in the lore, so she's been locked in here. She has the key to this from the sealed room actually unlocks this area. It takes a lot to get in this room, and there's actually a way with glitches to get in here early, but she has been sealed away deliberately, it seems, by whoever put her here. Or maybe she did it herself. So she's not a hard ghost to catch, but the puppets in this room are wicked. Because if you get hit by a puppet, you immediately drop the pull and you can't get that pearl. But we got all the pearls so far.
This has been a very good pearl run.
Okay. Trying to look for booze at the same time while getting as much money as possible. I do probably want to get more than I otherwise would in here. Luckily the boo spawned late, so I have more time. Okay, my bill count is still pretty sad. I'm gonna try to set up for a double boo catch here. It's the only one in the game we can do. Okay, ow. Okay, he needs to leave. This is not a good setup for it. This guy's moving and I really don't want to, like... There we go. Okay, I want to make sure this guy ends with 10 HP. So that they're both outside with about the same amount of HP. Ideally they're about 20 and it's easier. Okay, both at 9, that's perfect. We're gonna see if we can get them both at the same time. Swag strat.
Let's see.
Nice! Oh, we didn't get the other guy.
No, what?
I think he went back down. Yeah. Yeah, sometimes...
I can't believe they could leave with 0 health.
Sometimes a 0, you have to be locked on. It's rough. So, if we caught them both at the same time, we would be able to skip EGAD's text there. So that is all of... Was it?
I was gonna say, have you gotten the Vanguard text yet? I don't know if you
I think
learned
EGAD gave it
which
to
one
me once downstairs, but otherwise, no. Pretty sure I got it off of the breaker boo when I caught it in the pipe room.
Alright, pray for triples time.
So Vanguard text that EGAD tells us is because Vanguard is this guy, and he's a painter who has been painting all of these ghosts to life. Everybody that's not a portrait ghost is his creation. He's responsible for all of this. Surprisingly, though, they keep showing up even though he's gone in a minute. But he's gonna spawn multiple waves of 3 ghosts. We're gonna see if we can get all the triples. Those red guys are a little bit of a pain because they're higher off the ground than the other ghosts, so you have to aim up a little bit. Ideally we can pull the masks off during the cutscene too with these guys when they appear. And then this I think is one of the harder ones because they're so big and they get pushed. Good. I was being very careful with my sweeping motions. And it's easier to just flame
Nice! All the triples!
Alright, Vanguard. So this is the last set of pearls we're going to get. There are 19 big pearls in the game. We got all of them. Vanguard is not hard to catch, so once we're past Supi, we're pretty confident we're going to get all the pearls. We are cooking. Not out of the woods yet, though, because this boo can be 3-cycled, or 2-cycled, so if we're really careful here, we can get down to like 150 HP. Good. And then after we catch this boo, this is our 50th boo, so we're going to spawn the golden diamond. Don't leave, please.
Nice.
Can I touch it? Ah, barely there.
No.
So if you touch that before EGAD talks, you can save quit and keep the diamond, but I have to touch it, which means I have to go over here and, like at the blackout, warp out of this room. And now all that's left is getting King Boo and wondering if we have enough money. Having all the pearls eases my mind a lot. We do have quite a bit of coins for what I usually see, and the bills combined with having most of the pearls, all the big ones especially, makes me a lot less concerned. There is bonus money in the room right before King Boo, and I'm probably going to get 2 of those components. There's 3 things you can get. And because I'm doing so well on this PB chance run, I think I'd rather be a little safe. And we also 2-cycled that boo, which is helpful. I'm not going to concern myself with getting too many of the bills on the right. I'm going to spawn them and get some of them. Okay, that's enough. And I got the bonus one. It flew into me.
Luigi's shoe picked up an extra bill.
Yeah. Okay. So King Boo, as most of the area bosses are, completely unlike the rest of the game. This is actually the only room in the game where the camera does not stay squared up against the room. If you get too far away from Bowser, it will rotate around Luigi so that you see Bowser at the same time, because this room is massive. We're not going to, hopefully not going to get too far away from him. Ideally we can 2-cycle, and if we don't, we have a fairly safe backup for a 3-cycle. It is technically possible to 1-cycle this boss. Chauncey was the last boss that was discovered to be 1-cyclable. This boss, through some crazy discovery, I don't even know how people found it, people figured out that you can shoot the head. This is not real Bowser, by the way. This is King Boo in a Bowser suit. He's cosplaying, but...
I'm gonna interrupt you for a second to just say that new caption name, Chauncey is now John C.
John Cena! Alright. So, hit the head off, line that up. There's an invisible wall in front of King Boo, so we go to the side there to make sure that we don't hit it. Dodge the ice balls and hopefully stay on King Boo for a while. Get to 250 health here. That's good. That's 2-cyclable.
Nice.
500 health total. Most HP in the game. 250 in 1 pull is good. King Boo basically behaves like a boo, so you can do the R pumping thing that we've been doing for every other boo in the game. Don't get hit by ice balls. Ah!
1 health!
Yep. Alright, Bowser. Make it fast.
Yay! PB!
Alright. So the tutorial stream turned into a PB somehow? This is not the end of the game though. Still in tutorial mode, we gotta count the money.
1G.
Only 1G, not GG.
Time has ended, but only 1G right now.
Time happens there because... I don't know why. It's the end of normal gameplay, probably.
I mean, the rest is just a cutscene mostly, so...
Usually, in Japanese speedruns, it goes until the very end of the game, so you would probably, say, split a Japanese real-time attempt when you see the money at the end of the game, like when you see the portrait with the A rank on it at the end of the game, all the way after the credits. But for our purposes, normal gameplay is over, and we split when King Boo is in the vacuum. I do need to make note of that for the host to actually hit the button, because they should know it's coming up, but... So if we don't have 100 million gold, it is not a valid 100% run. Because while we caught all the boos, and while we caught all the Portugals, we need all the Portugals? I'm sorry. Thanks, captions. We do need to make sure that we have the criteria for an A rank too, which is 100 million gold. I think with 19 pearls and the bonus money I got right before fighting King Boo that I am, like right there. I think I'm comfortably right there.
Is exactly 1 hour and 13 minutes. Crazy.
It was, I think, 10 seconds lower than that before I reset the 3rd floor split again. The sealed room in split, as I renamed it to. Okay. 274, good. 369, pretty good. 22's pretty good. no bonus gems, so all of these gems are as expected. 6 reds because they're valuable, 5 diamonds. There's only 5 portrait ghosts that are optional in the game, so we can only get 5 diamonds. Every pearl, pretty much.
Hey!
We're good!
GG!
That's a GG. So... I forget how many bills are in the funnel area. So there's 20 of them. I always do this math. I think it's 20,000 times 20. It's 400,000, so I did need them. I got 400,000 money in bills at the end, because I think I got literally every one, maybe missed one. And I was 300 over. Necessary. And I think the blue one was required too, because that's worth 500,000. I needed both of those things.
Was it the, is it the sealed room that has all of the money in the treasure chest, but it's, like, slow to get them?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think you'll get some of those if you think that you're behind during the run? Or you're scared about money? My safety
money is usually watering the plant and soupies, because that's not too out of the way. And it's a bunch of money. It's a blue gem, I think. So I think it's 5. I forget how much they're worth. I constantly forget how much they're worth. I think they're 500,000 though.
Oh, okay.
Blue jewels, yeah, 500,000. Greens are worth 800,000. I just get them confused. I always think green is the cheap one.
Okay.
So I would get that because it's quick. I don't think there's gems in the sealed room. The only thing that's really valuable in there is the hidden ghost in the south chest. That boo drops something important. I can't remember what it is. It might be a blue gem. But it interferes with going fast to get that guy. Like, it's pretty darn out of the way because you have to go all the way to the bottom of the room and then walk all the way up to shake the top chest again.
That makes sense.
I mean, if I'm really behind, that probably would be a good one to get. Because that's not too out of the... Like, people were entertaining the idea before we figured out that it's possible to... Well, I didn't figure it out. I don't know why I said we there. The people, the community, that does not include me because I don't know how to hunt glitches, was mulling over if getting that guy, the speedy spirit in the sealed room was a good idea if we clipped straight into there from the 3rd floor. And once they figured out that you could just clip into the sitting room directly ahead of Supi, like once they figured out they could get in there, that question was moot because you never actually go in the sealed room under ideal conditions. But because that guy, you spawn right on top of that chest when you clip into that room, it was thought about as being not too out of the way anymore. I think talking to Toad would be a good one. I think that's a simple little thing. It was either
I also like that.
It was either that or listen to the music at the end. Because I was really trying to think of... I don't know enough glitches to do a glitch exposition. And I wouldn't want to sit there and attempt the Chauncey 1 cycle that bad. Like if I didn't get it. And I also don't want to promise that I would show it off with an incentive and then just casually get it in a run. That like completely ruins the incentive. I want to try to get it in a run and just say, well, whatever. Like go look at the awesome YouTube video that was made like 2 months ago detailing this trick and enjoy the history of the speedrun as it has changed and continues to change because this game is kind of popping off right now. There's major glitches, a whole lot of new people in the Discord learning it. And even if I don't get to show it off, I can talk about it.
Yeah. I think that's probably the smart thing to do.
PB!
New PB!
That's crazy. There's so much improvement. What even went wrong? Like, it felt like I was just kind of bumbling through and I magically came out 20 seconds ahead of Van Gore. Basement went pretty good. The guy left the room and went back in 3 times.
I think that save quit helped a lot.
Yeah, getting everything else with the save quit was nice. I found the boo first try, too. Blackout was fine. Third floor was pretty good. Not crazy. Compared to being a minute behind there, that's really good. Like, coming out of that, just slightly behind was fine. Oh god, Bulasis was terrible. I forgot about that.
I'm gonna refill my water now.
Everything else was just kind of like whatever. Muscle memory is definitely a big thing.
Hello?
I missed a couple things because of it. Off the top of my head, like the safari room is something I don't have strong muscle memory for, and not focusing on that screwed me up a little bit. I got all the Shy Guys, which is kind of lucky when it happens. Sometimes they just break off. The whatever the room is, the Astral Hall right before Moonshot was a little scuffed. But yeah, maybe I do need to grind out some, like, that room specifically. I really do want to practice Safari Room. I think looking up some strats and practicing just that one maybe would be a good idea. Also, the third floor was just super nice.
Hello?
I am back, but I'm
Cool.
also gonna mute because I'm eating something right now.
I'm gonna get up and refill my water too, and I'll be back. And then I'll start another one. If you want to hang around for another commentary.
Yeah.
Either way. Cool. Be right back.